Hello and welcome to sdpn's 2023-2024 NBA season previews. Today, we're going to talk about the Portland Trail Blazers, who have been talked about a lot this summer because of the Damian Lillard trade request and most likely will remain in the news until Dame is eventually traded. How does this Portland team look next season with and without Dame? Let's try and examine. But first, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. The season is almost here, and we have tons of great NBA videos coming your way to get you prepped for what should be an awesome year. All right, I'll admit it's hard to examine the Blazers heading into this season because of the Lillard situation. You've heard all about Dame this summer. He wants to go to Miami and Miami only. The Heat don't have an enticing offer according to the Blazers, and Portland isn't willing to come to the table unless a third team is willing to bail out Miami and help them offer a better package. But the question is, with the season a month away and no deal imminent, what does Dame do on opening night if he's still on the Blazers? Does Portland send him home, have him wait until a deal is done? Or does he actually suit up and play until the deal is finalized? But the Athletics' Shams Charania reported that Lillard would only report to camp for both Portland and Miami and no other team if he was traded. It's unclear, and honestly, given Dame's track record, it probably makes sense that he will suit up, but from Lillard's latest comments, it doesn't seem like we'll be getting any clarity anytime soon.
The straw that brought you uncertainty about the future of the Blazers franchise.
I'm not going to speak on the Blazers. It's a lot of love and respect, but I won't speak on the Blazers.
It's well documented that there have been a trade request. Is to the Miami Heat. Is there anything that you could say about the trade request?
I can say that there was, and I would just prefer not to speak on the Trailblazers.
Okay, so for this preview, I'm going to assume one of two things happens. Either one, Dame gets traded before the start of the season, or two, he gets traded at some point in the season and plays a limited role on the court for the Blazers this year. Because if Dame does play and plays regularly, the Blazers season looks completely different. Dame is coming off arguably the best season of his career and an all-NBA selection, and is a player that is thoroughly in the late stage of their prime. Even if the roster around Lillard is much of the same, outside of a player I'm going to discuss in a second, Lillard is enough to will this team to win games that a rebuilding Blazers front office might not be interested in doing. It's for that reason that most sportsbooks don't even have an over-under win total projection for the Blazers, because like us, they have no idea what this team is going to look like and how Lillard might impact it. So that is why it is much easier to assume that Lillard will either be gone by opening night or at the very least won't be a major part of their season, and the Blazers have entered a full-blown rebuild. While we don't know what Portland will inevitably receive as compensation for Dame, we do know what we have today, what they have today, and that's what we'll preview. Okay, so as far as major offseason additions goes, the biggest has to be the guy who they drafted to eventually replace Lillard, Scoot Henderson. Now, we didn't get to see much of Scoot in Summer League. He sustained an injury halfway through his first game and was held out of the tournament for precautionary reasons. But even in the first half, we saw glimpses of the type of player he'll be as a rookie. He is an enigmatic guard with explosive athleticism that can attack the basket with the best of them. He's long, despite being only 6'3", and because of that, I think he'll eventually be a good defender in the NBA. He's genuinely one of the best athletes in the draft, and that's saying a lot because Amen and Asar Thompson are already 99th percentile athletes in the NBA. He still needs to improve as a shooter and expand his range, but he's potent from the mid-range area and has a beautiful finishing package and a cerebral passing ability. Scoot is going to look excellent paired alongside Blazers guards Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe, setting them up for open looks and easy finishes. As long as Scoot can stay healthy, he projects to be a Russell Westbrook type guard that will be a perennial all-star. That's how good he can be. The Blazers also drafted Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, with the 23rd pick, who's an intriguing player out of Iowa who can space the floor, knock down shots, and provide length on the perimeter. He doesn't have the star upside that Scoot has, but you can easily tell how Murray can be a rotation player in the league almost immediately, quite like his brother. Outside of that, the Blazers also re-signed Jeremy Grant and Matisse Thybulle, two wings with very different skill sets. Grant is a much more well-versed offensive player is an elite complementary guy next to stars and can do a little bit of everything for Portland. And he was rewarded nicely with a massive contract for his part. And while he probably isn't in the Blazers' plans long term, his contract can always be used as salary in the future to bring on another star or to acquire more draft picks to help with their rebuild. Thibault, on the other hand, is a somewhat limited offensive player who's tried to expand his game, but to no avail. His defensive prowess is elite, although sometimes overstated, and is potent enough for the Blazers to use in their rotation this season. Probably the most intriguing player on the roster outside of Lillard and Scoot is Sharp, the high-flying guard entering his second year in the league and most likely going to get a much more substantive role because of it. When the Blazers shut down Lillard for the final 10 games of the season, Sharp went on to average 23.7 points, knocking down 38% of his threes on 8 attempts a game. Now, it's only 10 games, I understand, but he showed off an impressive off-the-bounce game and scoring repertoire that, coupled with his unbelievable athleticism, gives him a tremendous amount of offensive potential. Pairing up Scoot with Sharp and Simons will make for a really fun offensive team. Even if they don't win a ton of games, they're going to make highlight plays every single night, and the hope is that one day they'll all develop into all-star level players. But Scoot and Sharp have that potential, and they're high on the league pass rankings just because of it. It might be hard to see right now through all the Damian Lillard noise, but the future is bright in Portland. They already have a potential franchise player in Scoot. They have an intriguing young nucleus around him in Sharp, Simons, Murray, and even guys like Jabari Walker and John Butler. And it's just about what they're able to do by surrounding these guys with whatever is left after the Lillard fiasco. It's hard to guess what this team will be next season because of the uncertainty around Lillard, but in all likelihood, they're headed towards a rebuild with a promising young core, future picks available to them, and potentially more headed their way. Not a bad way to start a new era of Blazers basketball, if you ask me. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We truly appreciate it, and we will see you guys for the next preview. Take care.